I'm Chris. I'm a United States Marine. I served from February of '02 to February of '06. Served with 2nd Transportation Support Battalion and 22nd MEU SOC, Special Operations Capability. Operation Mountain Storm, Afghanistan, 2004. Active duty, yes. It's kind of hard to describe. Just sitting here right at this moment, coming home from that and hitting American soil, there's no other feeling in the world like it. Once you've been to these countries, see how bad they got it, see some of the damage that we've done, damage they've done to themselves. You think about whenever you get back home to the United States, your biggest worry is waiting in the drive-thru line. So you're able to see things in that perspective. But coming home is also different because you're a different man. You come home, your mom's always going to be mom, but she's different. Nieces and nephews grow mustaches. And it happens so fast. It happens so quickly. Then the other way you feel when you come home is, I left half my soul in this other place. I really gave it everything we got. I got to serve among the very best on the planet. And that's what they are. These active duty guys and girls and these veterans. But these veterans are my heroes. They always will be. We've been in the longest war of the United States. Barring a few guys who were still active duty whenever the war started, some of those guys were even drafted in Vietnam, which is kind of cool to think about the timeline. The drafted Vietnam guys were the first voluntary force. And that's a big deal. What kind of person sacrifices it all for the greater good? You know, I see the heroism in others. I'm unable to see it in myself. I think we're all that way. It's because it's like, man, I've been very best at something. But then you come home and you phase out. You're like that active duty running back who's only got 4 years of life left in the NFL. And then where do you go from being the best? So yeah, you know, your mind takes you places. But if I had one word, it would be grateful. Grateful to this country that we live in. Grateful that I can confidently walk into most sinks in the United States and drink the water. And then flush 8 times the amount down the cooler. So yeah, grateful. I was put in handcuffs. Yeah, there's not a motivation on the planet like handcuffs. You know, just to be open and clean with everyone. I drank some alcoholic drinks with my blood pressure medication, and I was cussing and arguing and threatening, and I have no recollection, zero memory. I do remember the look in my son's eye when the police showed up, and the other ones, and the look in their mother's eye whenever I had them afraid, because I'm walking through life like the soda that's being shaken up and somebody's gonna pop the lid. And whoever accidentally pops that lid, you know, they catch the brunt, and it happened to be my wife. I threatened them, and thank God nothing happened, but that was a turning point. Why would I even go to the point of verbally threatening the ones I love the most in a blackout? Because something is wrong. I need to change. And truth be told, I've known it for years. Just needed that motivator. Life is looking good, you know, every day that we're alive on this planet, every day that you're allowed to count your blessings. It's short. We don't know how it's going to end. This invisible clock is going to end. So I'm grateful for that. Life is looking good. I'm in active recovery again. I'm one drink away from relapse always. I don't treat what's going on, this undealt with trauma, this moral injury, this going reclusive and hiding from others, even when they're a phone call away or even a thumb push away. Avoiding people, it all came to a head. Starting out with this process of trying to better yourself, it's a lot easier said than done. You know, you would think that would be the motivator, but depression's just got just a touch more strength. At least it does with me. I see it in a lot of my friends too. They can't sleep at night, but they can sleep all day on someone's couch. I'm really proud of them all. All the ones who survived to this point, where veterans actually refuse, or for whatever reason, they don't purposely reach out for help. A lot of them take their own lives. I was never to that point. But I do know guys who were. The magic trick would be to get these guys to actually reach out. But it's that face-to-face. It's getting away from your couch and your phone and talking that way. And it's about getting face to face with other veterans, getting face to face with these veteran help groups, going to the doctor. If you don't have VA insurance, you need to find a resource to where they're able to get some of their medical benefits through VA or find an outside provider. The thing about the veterans in a lot of these situations is they go a lot of time jobless. They fail to adapt to many areas of the workforce. They're calloused hands, dirty fingered grunts. That's what they do. And one way or the other, for whatever reason or another, these guys are going without jobs. In the span of a 20-year war, all of us are in our early 40s now from the post 9/11 thing until now. That's a lot of veterans. That is a workload that VA itself was not even prepared for. So hats off to all these organizations, the ones who were reaching out saying, hey, let me help you. But how are we going to get through to them? The only thing I can see is it has to be face-to-face interaction. It has to be that handshake. It has to be someone going around to, and Veteran Treatment Court is a good place to start, in my opinion. I'm a graduate. Go there first. These guys are forced to deal with their feelings. If not, it's not going to be an easy road. But the thing is they all have discipline. They all have drive. They all have motivation. They just got to dig down for it. With them going through that process of the different therapies and equine therapy and the mentorship, going through the steps of learning how to separate self from ego. It's a good program. I am living proof.